Hey guys, Roman Reaper here. So, I finally watched The Penguin. I only actually got round to it a few weeks back, but I had been hearing nothing but great things, and I really enjoyed the Penguin's role in the Batman. So, obviously, yes, with this being him headlining his own series, of course, I was really looking forward to that. This is obviously something of a little expansion piece to the whole Batman universe that Matt Reeves has been building. Something extra to tide us over while we wait for the actual sequel to the Batman, which Reeves has been cooking up, and I believe is due to release in 2026. Really, really looking forward to that. But is this a worthwhile expansion to the Batman Epic Crime Saga? Let's find out. So the series follows Oz Cobb, aka the Penguin, who, following on from the death of Carmine Falcone, finds himself caught up in the middle of the long-running gang war between the Falcones and the Maronis, as he desperately searches for his own place within Gotham's criminal underworld. Then, one day, he learns that Falcone's two kids, Sophia and Alberto, have come up with a plan to manufacture and distribute an innovative new drug known as Bliss, which could potentially change the game forever. And Oz, naturally realizing that he's hit the mother lode, wants in on that. So, look, obviously, it's easy to give the credit for this to Matt Reeves, understandable to a certain extent. This is part of his universe after all, and he is a producer on this. But I do have to give major props to the showrunner Lauren LaFranc, because she's built up a brilliant 8 hours of television, a great expansion to the this universe that Reeves has built, offering a very interesting new perspective. So obviously, yes, where the Batman was, an epic detective noir story, this, on the other hand, is a mobster drama, and obviously all those familiar trappings you'd expect to see in a mob story, you can bet they're in there, whether it be, these warring, like, wealthy crime families, these top secret drug operations, and even, like, bent cops who, are on the payroll of these families who, take bribes and kickbacks to stay quiet. All of this stuff is present and correct, and it's all executed super, super well, as, we become to understand the sheer scope of what's going on in the Gotham criminal underworld, which is, a super compelling, fresh perspective to watch throughout these 8 episodes. But at its core, it is a character study, a look at what happens when those who have been playing second fiddle finally decide to make that grab for power and really make something of themselves. It's obviously this little through line here, which makes for the the narrative and thematic backbone of the series, and it's sold by excellent performances. Obviously, Colin Farrell plays Oz, and much like in the film, he's great. He's this real, larger than life presence, but there's also something just much more eerie and menacing. But this is a guy who obviously who acts on his impulses. He does stuff to create the impression that he's this big tough guy, but actually he's a deep down he's a pathetic, weak, spineless man. And oh my god, Farrell plays it so well. And once again, the makeup work to turn him into Oz is top notch. Like, seriously, he is truly unrecognizable. I know what in theory I'm meant to be watching is Colin Farrell playing the Penguin, but you don't see that at all, because he is truly transformed into this character. Absolutely brilliant stuff. We also have Kristen Milioti as Sophia Falcone, who obviously her treatment at the hands of her family has pushed her over the edge a little bit. But she also has some level of loyalty to certain members of the family. So, deep down there is a heart to, her cold, ruthless actions. Yeah, and Miliotti plays this character really, really well. She is a fantastic screen presence and a very, very interesting character to watch. We also have Renzi Feliz as Victor, who obviously serves as a protege to Oz. Yeah, begins to grow in confidence in his time under Oz's wing. And yeah, it's the dynamic between Oz and Vic which actually leads to some of the loveliest moments of the series. They're a really great pair. And some of the heart of the series comes from Oz's relationship with his mother, Frances, played by Deirdre O'Connell. And there's, she's a deeply tragic character whose mind and body are slowly deteriorating, and, Oz is basically the last one left to care for her. And it's very interesting to see how his relationship with his mother really shaped him to be the man that he is. Very, very interesting stuff. Of course, rounding it all, you've got the likes of the always wonderful Clancy Brown as Salvatore Maroni. Also, as well as Mark Strong, who appears in flashback scenes and in photographs as Carmine, who, of course, is stepping in for John Turturro, who played Carmine in the film. And look, it's Mark Strong, but he's always great. And the series is shot really, really well. It's got that, very colorful, vibrant aesthetic that the film had, but also that certain level of grit to it as well. It looks really good, and it's accompanied by a great score from Mick Giacchino, who is actually the son of Michael Giacchino, who was the composer for the film. So yeah, we're keeping this universe in the family, and does create a great soundscape for the underworld of Gotham. It's an incredibly well-made series overall, and something that's quite interesting is that, normally when you're watching films and TV shows centered on villains, normally there's some level of an attempt to try and humanize them, make them more sympathetic, because when you're, following the story from that perspective, that's something so you have to do, to get the audience to connect. But something that's really interesting about the Penguin is that, especially in the last couple of episodes, is that, rather than trying to humanize him or, make him in any way sympathetic, it actually doubles down on just how much of a colossal piece of shit he is. And there's some very, very surprising reveals and moments that happen that just really solidify just how much of an absolute monster Oz is. Yeah, a real change of pace in terms of, villain-centered media. And overall, The Penguin is a fantastic series. From beginning to end, it is an incredibly gripping 8 hours of television and a great expansion to the Batman Epic Crime Saga. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to what comes next. I'm really looking forward to the Batman Part 2. Out of 10, the Penguin gets a 9. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen the Penguin? What did you think of it? Are you looking forward to seeing more of Colin Farrell as Oz? Would you like to see a second series, maybe? Are you looking forward to the Batman Part 2? And you're looking forward to what else the Batman Epic Crime Saga has in store? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.